んにちは、ミセス・ゴットマン。
そこをどいて。
交換したいというのもいつでもオープンしてますよ。
船はなんと空中にそのまま吹っ飛び、ダウンタウンにある別のビルの間に挟まったんだそうです。どうしてなぜとにかく起きてしまったことは受け入れるほかなさそうです。めちゃめちゃですが
I'm looking for settlement work, if you got any.
Would you be interested in coming to work for me?
Appreciate it.
何が欲しいかわからない。大丈夫です。ここには全て揃ってます。
ね
Nice to meet you, friend. My name's Terrence. I'm an astronomer. Well, that's my passion anyway. It's hard to earn a living wandering around with my head turned to the sky. So, right now, I'm looking for a settlement to work on.
Would you be interested in coming to work for me?
Really? Well, if you need someone with two good hands and a head for science, maybe I can help.
My secret is actually really simple. Nuka-Cola soda. It has the same amount of calories as your average... me from eating something else that really adds those pounds. It also peps me up and gives me so much energy, I want to jog around the park. Not that I need to, because if I was any thinner, I'd be practically invisible. So if you're like me and don't like going on a lengthy diet, head on over to your local grocery store and buy a bottle of Nuka-Cola today. Your waistline will thank you. Don't touch that dial. You found the best radio station in Boston, Atomic... If anyone could hear me, I need your help. I was passing through the old Belcher's cave when the roof collapsed on me. And my leg, it got pinned in the rubble and I can't move. Please, if anyone's out there, you've got to help me before the ferals... Oh God, I think that might be them. If anyone can hear me, I need your help. I was passing through the old Belcher's cave when the roof collapsed on me. And my leg, it got pinned in the rubble and I can't move. Please, if anyone's out there, you've got to help me before the ferals... Oh God, I think that might be them. If anyone can hear me, I need your help. I was passing through the old Belcher's cave when the roof collapsed on me. And my leg, it got pinned in the rubble and I can't move. Please, if anyone's out there, you've got to help.
You're listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
She's an Oscar, Tony, and Emmy-winning actress. A co-star of hers once said, she's worked with some of the biggest names in Hollywood, and yet she somehow manages to outshine them all. Her latest film is The Boulevard, and it opens in theaters across the country starting tomorrow. With me is Lana Worth.
That was Dean Domino who said that.
Was it? There's some debate about its provenance, whether it was Dean or another actor.
No, it was him. But if you know Dean, you'd know he said it with a touch of sarcasm. At least at first. I think he was angry I was stealing his scenes.
It was reported the two of you had a rocky relationship.
Dean and I got along fine. It was the director he took umbrage with.
In what way?
Well, you have to understand that Dean's a performer by trade, not an actor. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way. It's just that, as a performer, you're used to being in charge.
I see. So having that control wrenched away from him was difficult. He had trouble letting go, so to speak.
Exactly. You don't call yourself the king of swing and start taking orders from the Duke, regardless of whether you're in his domain.
So you two got along just fine?
We enjoyed each other's company. Not in the biblical sense, of course. No matter how much the tabloids claim otherwise.
I wanted to ask you about that, because there's one publication that seemed to make a living out of putting you on the front page.
Oh yes, the Daily Mirror. That's a cute name for a newspaper, don't you think? I mean, if this is a reflection of the current state of humanity, then I'm not sure I want to be a part of it.
It does tend to show our more ugly side.
Fantastical, I'd say. I'm all for Hollywood bearing its collective face, without all the glamour and makeup. The problem with the Mirror is, it's as false as the industry it covers.
Was there a bit of tongue-in-cheek then in The Boulevard? In the trailer, they show a newspaper boy claiming you were murdered.
Yes, I did find that rather amusing. The one time they get it right. It's not even real.
Was it strange playing yourself? Or at least a fictionalized version of yourself?
It's strange, because it was written by someone else. So, you're not playing yourself so much as playing who the public thinks you are. And it's a bit embarrassing on some level because you realize you're nowhere near as dignified as people make you out to be.
So, I take it when you're at home, you're wearing overalls and cursing like a sailor?
Not quite. I'm from England. We don't curse so much as furrow a brow.
And keep a stiff upper lip, as the saying goes.
Oh, naturally that way. You might think I'm being cold and unemotional right now. I'm just being British.
Is there any concern that people will think that's the real Lana Worth?
Well, no. Because like I said, the public thinks that way already. It's just a part of being a celebrity. But the fact of the matter is, few people will ever get to know the real Lana Worth. I'm not sure I know her myself.
That's really the essence of life, isn't it? Getting to know yourself.
Yes. And the sad part is, by the time you figure it out, it's already too late.
Speaking of which, that's all the time we have for tonight. I want to thank my guest, the great Lana Worth, and thank everyone in the audience for listening. We'll see you next week.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Food scientists and inquiring minds want to know, what makes cram so delicious? Let's ask Sam Smith over at the Bugle.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have an answer. According to my sources, it's some kind of pink meat. All signs would point to a pig being the culprit, but I've tried pork, and it doesn't taste half as good as cram.
Well, Sam, I suppose the mystery continues. Why don't we ask a local housewife, Lynn Beasley, what she thinks?
You want to know what's inside cram? To be honest, I have no idea. I'm just glad it saves me time, and the children love it.
But aren't you worried about the nutritional contents?
I never thought about that. Is it unhealthy?
Of course not. Cram uses all natural ingredients that are then processed and filled with preservatives to ensure lasting flavor. You see, even Mother Nature needs a little help in the kitchen every now and then. While we may never know what's inside a box of cram, I think we can all agree that the taste is no mystery. Cram. It's good.
And now, some music.
Well, I'm getting tired working hard every day. Working every day and not getting much pay. I got a big Geiger counter, it's a pretty good rate. When the needle starts clicking, it's where I'm gonna dig. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, paint it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away. Well, I can see me now in my long Cadillac. Hinges in the middle, spare wheel on the back. Man, don't you know I'd be hard to stop when I find that big uranium rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, paint it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away. Yes, that's me in my long Cadillac. Heading down the road and I ain't coming back. Ain't no red light gonna make me stop when I find that big uranium rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, paint it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away.
We're on there from Bristol to Beantown. This is Atomic Radio.
And now a public service announcement.
Man, this park really needs cleaning up. It's hard to run and play with the field in such bad shape. And that's not even counting all the litter.
Hey, kid, I'm not litter. I'm a bill.
You're a what now?
A bill to clean up this very park. Before that, I was an idea, pulled right out from your bottom. Thanks for not wiping, by the way. Anyways, kid, the point is, if you take me to Capitol Hill, I can someday become a law.
How do we make you a law?
Well, it takes a majority vote, usually. Thing is, a lot of voters don't have a reason to want to clean up your park. So, you gotta convince them.
How do we do that?
Easy. we just change up some of my words so I appeal to more people? Like instead of me saying let's clean up the park, what if I said let's clean up the park by building a cigarette factory on top of it? And then gave the money to our good friends at Grey Tortoise to build it.
But that's not what I asked for at all. I want the park to be clean so I can run and play.
Don't worry, we'll also add a provision that lets companies advertise in schools. And once you've tasted all the premium tobacco found in every Grey Tortoise cigarette, your lungs will be too damaged to want to do exercise of any kind.
I don't know, Bill. That doesn't sound very fun.
Oh, so you're just gonna let me die?
Die?
That's right. If I don't get past, kid, I die on the house floor. And you know what that makes you, a murderer.
Oh no, what have I done?
Nothing yet. That's why it's so important that we add the
Listen.
right language so I get past. And remember, we're gonna need to sway not just the House and the Senate, but also the President.
Really? What does he want?
Does it matter? You want your cigarette factory built, don't you? Well, we'll need to pull a few extra strings to get it. But I think some new curtains in the White House might go a long way.
And maybe a new bike for me?
Now you're getting it, kid. Now come on, let's go get me past.
But how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill. He signed you, Bill. Now you're a law.
Nice.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
For breakfast, it's pancakes and coffee. For lunch, it's a sandwich and a latte.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. Every meal is as different as night and day. There's only one thing they all have in common. The after-meal cigarette. Make sure yours is as slow and easy as a tortoise. Grey Tortoise famous cigarettes. The perfect end to a well-balanced meal.
are listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
Is the electromagnetic shielding up? Without it, the machine might malfunction.
It's up. Not that it'll help much, given the other dozen or so parts it could fail in its place.
Dr. Sanders, I get the distinct feeling you don't share my enthusiasm for this project.
Dr. Jones, I'd like to think of the 20 years we've been together, I've given you a lot. I've given you my time, my sweat, and my expertise. I even gave you my secret recipe for banana bread. Not that you'd know how to use it, but the one thing I won't give you is my enthusiasm. Not when you choose to risk your life for this experiment.
Risk is a part of life, Doctor. You take a risk when you eat your sugar bombs in the morning, when you drive your Corvega, and when you cheat on your husband. Every second is a dice roll. The only saving grace is that you have some semblance of control. But when it comes to nuclear war, to radioactive fallout and the end of days, you have no choice. Your fate is left to the hands of two men with their fingers on the button, and you know there's only a matter of time before one of them pushes it. That's why we built our own machine, with our own button. One that will send me back in time, and when you press it, nothing will ever be the same.
All right, Dr. Jones, you have my attention. What is this urgent message you wish to relay?
Mr. President, I want you to take your finger off the button.
I'm sorry, but what button?
You know which one. The one you use in the event of an invasion. The button that fires the nukes.
Dr. Jones, you do realize there isn't an actual button, right?
What do you mean?
Dr. Jones, there's no big red button to fire a nuclear arsenal. The generals, they make a recommendation, then I give the authorization.
You're wrong, Mr. President. I'm positive there's a button somewhere. And with the way things are going, it's only a matter of time before you push it. I know these things because, well, go ahead and ask me how I know.
All right. I'm gonna indulge you. How do you know?
Because I'm a time traveler.
Dr. Jones, that
鍵がない。
is quite frankly the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And yet it's the truth. Listen to me, Mr. President. Do not press the button.
I think I've heard quite enough. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Hey, buddy, you here to help? My friend Jack's in trouble.
I just got here, but yeah.
Okay, good. I can get us in, but first, I need a key. The kind that'll work on any door? The kind that looks like a bobby pin?
What? You think after I told him about the affairs and the drugs, he would... Well, it doesn't matter. I'm beginning to think the past can't be changed, which means we have no choice but to accept the future.
What do we do now?
All we can do is hope. If the president doesn't know where the button is, it's possible he'll never get the chance to press it. To ignorance, Dr. Sanders. It's humanity's greatest weakness and its saving grace.
対立することはお勧めできません。もっと倒してきてくれ。
ランナーと仕事するのとは大違い。後ろにあれがあって助かった。
Well, I don't know, but I've been told uranium ore is worth more than gold.
You're back. You got that pin?
Here you go.
Great. Now, before I open this door, I gotta ask, who are you? And can I trust you to help me?
You first. What's your name?
Don't have a name. I'm sort of borrowing a friend's. You can call him Jack. I guess by that logic, I'm not Jack. Or maybe I am? I don't know anymore. The point is, I could be either. I just need to know if you're gonna help me save him.
I'll do what I can.
Perfect. Just follow my lead. Figuratively. I'll be following you inside, literally. So try and look as confused as I made that sound. You'll figure it out once we get inside. All you need to know is Jack is in trouble and the clock is ticking. Tick, tick, tick.
And I started to climb right up to the top where I thought I'd find a hunk of rock that'd make it click just like I'd read about Vernon Pick. On the second day I made the top, and I'm telling you, Steve, I was ready to stop. The only clicking that I heard that day was the bones in my back that had gone astray.
Before we begin, let's do a little roll call, if you don't mind. If you're here, say you're here. Aunt Patty.
Here.
Bobby Craig.
Here.
Arthur D.
Present.
Good. Now that everyone's present and accounted for, here's the deal. This man here is a Sith. He's also my prisoner. Now, if you're all wondering why I've locked you inside, well, it's not to keep you in. It's to keep the Institute out. That's right. They got men all over the Commonwealth looking for this sumbitch. So I'd appreciate it if you just showed a little patience while we rest up. Come morning, we'll be over your skin and out of your hair.
Nonsense dangerous? Why not just shoot him?
Sure, I can do that. Just cut the damn red wire and let him die. But then who's gonna explain to the scientists over at the facility why their fancy synthetic android is nothing more than a lifeless doll? See, I need him intact, so that they can poke and prod and do whatever it is science-y types do to their guinea pigs.
Except you've got the wrong guy, Jack. Or should I say, the wrong Jack guy.
And here's your proof
Oh my
right
God.
there.
There's two of them.
That's right. 2 Jacks, 1 synth.
Yeah, but he's not the synth. I am.
Well, you're certainly as ugly as he is. But short of shooting you dead, I don't suppose you have any proof.
Not really. You can open us up, but chances are you'd find the same bones.
He's right. I heard the Institute makes exact replicas. Right down to the T.
Called my family and they were gonna fly in from
You shouldn't have
Oklahoma.
come, Jack. Now they know.
12 years.
You know how it is, Jack.
12
I just
long
couldn't leave you to die either.
I thought I was
That'd be a
finally
little
going
too
to the
heavy,
show.
even for me.
Well,
Even if it
stick
was
me
just
in
for
a
a cup of
jar and
coffee.
call me Dill.
That's what we make
This is what I call a real fucking
It was
pickle.
supposed to be an
God.
analogy.
Now what are we gonna do?
It's simple. We lock this place
think I'm
down
gonna
until we
cry.
figure out who's got the nuts
Coffee is
and
very
who's got the
complex
bolts.
There are about
And I have
1,000
a feeling
aroma
this
and flavor
scabber over
compounds
here can
also.
help us.
Of course,
You,
you can't taste
come
all
over
of it,
here.
but you can taste a lot.
Yeah?
ね
How
You
many
know
can
this
you
man?
taste?
Right
Is
now,
what he's saying
just
true?
one.
Is he a
Coffee.
synth?
But I'm still working on the others.
I just want to go home.
As you can see,
Oh, he's a synth, definitely.
If he's a synth, then why the hell was this son of a bitch telling people he works for the Institute? How about this? Why don't you interrogate them for me? I'll be standing here watching you do it. Now, I've got my own opinion, but let's see if we can't come to a consensus.
And just who is this synth, anyway? What do you know about him?
Who, Jack? All I know is what I've heard. One day they say he just started acting different, all cold and unemotional like. Well, if that doesn't sound like a synth, I don't know what does. But then those same people started saying Jack went back to his normal self, which got me thinking maybe the two of them were working together. Working in shifts, more or less. But there was only one way to find out. So one day, I walked in his house, smacked him with the butt of my gun, and left a note for the other Jack. Wasn't sure if I was crazy, leaving a note for the guy I kidnapped. But seeing as there's a Tweedledee and Tweedledum here, I'd say my hunch was on the button.
Who's your boss? Why are you doing this?
Do I look like someone who works for anyone other than himself? I'm freelance, darling. Selling cents to anyone who'll take them. Railroad, Institute, whoever. It all comes down to who'll pay the most caps. In this case, it's a bunch of eggheads out west.
What is this place, anyway?
Nothing special, that's for sure. Just another Commonwealth shit stop run by Art and his auntie. Normally, I don't like stopping anywhere with more than one entry point, but Art assured me that lock couldn't be picked. I would kill him just on principle, but he ain't worth the ammo.
I don't have any more questions.
Good, then you can stop bothering me and start questioning them. You find out which one is the synth, then I take him to my handlers. Easy peasy, Japanesey. But there's one condition. Don't hurt him. Not a scratch, you hear? The contract I have specifically states they're to be delivered undamaged.
Never, ever trust a synth.
すみません
I think there's a way out of this, without anyone getting hurt.
For the rest of your life.
but
I can't tell if that's the human or the machine talking.
I get what you're saying, but it seems like it's better to pay attention to the what rather than the who. Anyways, here's my plan. The bounty hunter said we're no good to him damaged, right? So what if we damaged ourselves? You shoot Jack, I shoot non-Jack, and no one has to die. Peace through violence. Just not too much violence. Or else.
Never, ever trust a scent.
Go on, hurt him. But make it a flesh wound. Kill him, and he'll probably just make me angry.
I don't know what to think anymore.
Buffout will not only increase your batting average on the field, but off the field as well.
You mean I can score with the ladies just
like a real
major leaguer?
Go on, hurt him.
That's
But
right.
make it a flesh wound. Kill him, and he'll probably just make me angry.
Supplement you'll find in every big league locker room. So, talk to your doctor or have him prescribe you a bottle today. Buffout, the #1 recommended vitamin for children and adults.
込まれました。
この程度。
Never, ever trust a synth.
And now, some
Sure, he's been acting a little strange lately, but a synth? That just seems so outlandish.
It doesn't matter which one you ask. Jack and I will give you the same answer. But if you choose wrong, this bounty hunter will come back and finish what he started. Which means the best solution is to kill the hunter and let us go free.
Do you have any friends in the Institute?
I never made any such claim. Whatever he told you is obviously a lie.
Hey, I'm on your side. I just need you to tell me the truth.
Well, I'm not a synth, but I can't speak for Jack. He claims we're twins. Given he hasn't tried to replace me, I've chosen to believe him. Either way, you only have two options. Take Jack, or kill the bounty hunter. If you choose me, he'll come back for the other Jack once he finds out I'm human. I already told you how you can help. You have a weapon. Use it.
So, did I have the right guy all along?
ここには何もなかった。
戦闘は危険ですが、とても積極的な運動ですね。敵はいなくなっていると思われます。
Go on, hurt him. But make it a flesh wound.
できれば科学について話し合いたいです。ここはとても素敵な場所です。
Now what the hell did you go and do that for? Did I not say explicitly the goods weren't to be damaged?
Sorry, you say something?
Fuck you, asshole. You know damn well what I just said. Now you're either gonna fix this or fix him. And unless you're some kind of genius institute scientist, that means you're gonna have to pay in caps. I'd say 2,000 caps is enough to make us square.
Fine. Here's your caps.
Good. Glad we could work this out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta find me another synth to take home. These two tweedledums you can keep.
Jack, still can't believe you came back for me.
drama,
Sure,
and
but you could have carried on Jack's life by yourself. No one would have been the wiser. Not true. I would have known. And besides, I'm too lazy to do your job myself.
Trust a synth.
That's just about the only thing you've said that makes sense. There's still one loose thread, though. The people here think one of us is a synth.
As long as you stay the hell away from here, I don't care if you're a goddamn gorilla.
See? We're good. So what now? We can't stay here. Doesn't matter to me. I go
Never,
where you go.
Ever trust a synth.
I got no use for them boys now. Do with them what you
Definitely
will.
not a synth. At least I haven't seen him at any of the meetings.
あら、
Jack and I had an arrangement.
just
We'd
did.
split the
He
work
ducked,
and have
then
twice the free
covered.
time.
And while you may not have a shell of your own, you do
Ara.
have protection.
I got no use
Just
for
as
them
Bert's
boys
shell
now.
safeguards
Do
him
with
from
them
the
what
impact
you
of
will.
atomic explosion, so does your desk, provided you duck
All I
and cover
wanted was a
yourself
nice,
under it.
clean
But how will you
establishment
know
away
when
from the
the
city.
bombs strike?
Instead,
Well,
I
one
get
of the
this
signature
nonsense.
elements of an atomic explosion is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen.
To be perfectly honest,
Stare too long,
I don't think
chances
the
are it'll be the
Institute
last
really
thing you see
exists.
too.
It's just
watch
wild
what happens
rumors
to
and
poor
nonsense.
Mary here as the radiation melts her eyes. And beside her is Daniel. He managed to turn away, but he didn't realize that the impact from the explosion could break windows and throw your body clear off its feet. As a result, Daniel was sent flying across the room where his body was pierced by the American flag. Meanwhile, Bobby here is safe and secure under his desk. He remembered to duck under his desk and cover his head. As such, the only radiation he'll be exposed to is the touch of Mary's irradiated corpse. But remember, nuclear war can come at any time. It can happen in the schoolyard, on the bus, or even in the restroom. If there is no desk or table available, duck and cover near a wall, a urinal, or someone whose life you value less than your own. When this film is over, discuss how you would duck and cover in various locations, and make sure you practice at least once a day. Doing so may very well save your life.
Duck and cover. Duck and cover. He did what we all must learn to do. You and you and you and you. Duck and cover.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
約束が違うじゃないか、トゥルーディ。その物品をよこせ。借りがあるだろう。
あんたたちみたいに毒を売りつける売人にやるものなんてないね。その薬のせいで息子がどうなったか知ってるの？
奴は正々堂々とそれを買ったんだ、トゥルーディ。中毒になったのは俺たちのせいじゃない。ちょっと落ち着いてくれよ、アサリ屋さん。あんたには関係ないだろう。
私の顔の前でその銃を振りかざすのをやめないと関係なくはなくなるわよ。
わかった、落ち着けよ。武器を下げるからな。クレイジーなことだけはしないでくれ。
一体どうしたの？
単純なビジネスの口論だよ。わかったか？トゥルーディが座ってる山積みの物品は俺への借りなんだよ。説得しようとしたけど、どうやら力ずくでもらわないとダメなようだな。簡単に金を稼ぎたいか？手伝ってくれよ。もう一丁銃があると助かる。それか言い聞かせて分からせてくれるか？
トルーディって誰？
目の前にある食堂が見えるか？所有者はトゥルーディだ。トゥルーディはあそこを小さな店に改造した。俺が薬を売ってその代わりにキャップや部品をもらう。それで息子のパトリックが18歳の誕生日を迎えた時にジェットを売ったんだ。その後さらに売った。その次はもっともっと売った。それで今奴は借金してる。
ジェット？ジェットって何？
売り上げトップの製品だ。信じられないくらいハイになる。客が言うには動きが速くなるらしい。喧嘩の前に使うといい。多分パトリックはママのスカートの下から出てタフガイになりたくて買ったんだろう。一度やったんならやめられるか？大量にジェットを売ってやったんだから、ちゃんと払うという約束は守ってもらうぞ。
見たところあちらもジェットを買うべきじゃなかったし、そっちも売るべきじゃなかったわね。
あのな、今さらそんなこと言われてもムカつく。とにかく手伝うのか手伝わないのかどっちだ？
話してみる。これでうまくいくかもしれない。
感謝するよ。話が進まないようなら後ろ盾するから。
ねえ、あの毒売りと話してたのを見たわ。奴に金はやらない。以上。
なぜ？これは全部どういう経緯なの？
あら、あの売人から聞かなかった？息子をジェット中毒にして大量の薬をツケで売りつけて、挙句私に生産させようとしてる。あのろくでなしには1キャップたりともやらない。
あのね、奴らに借金があるでしょ？それを払えば終わるの。みんな怪我せずに立ち去れる。
わかった。払うわ。ただしあのろくでなしには、この先息子に一滴たりともジェットを売らせない。ウルフギャング、聞いた？金はあげるけど、二度と息子に薬を売るんじゃないわよ。
わかったトゥルーディ。どっちにしろ息子は無一文だからな。
さあ、危機は過ぎたわ。バイバイするならカウンターまでおいで。
You'll just have to read the caution label for that. Let's just say the next time you need an X-ray, you might not need to go to the doctor. We can just use the big screen.
A big screen? Do you mean it?
Oh yes, I'm talking 16
ね
inches.
え、また営業を開始したわ。
But we'll
あ
have
ん
more
た
than
のおかげ
enough
でポ
money
ケットが
thanks
軽
to
く
the
なったけど
radiation
ね。
king.
何か買って埋め合わせをするってのはどう？
The best in talk?
あとは自分でやれそう？
ええ。薬から離れるのはしばらくかかるだろうけど、なんとかするわ。いつもそうだから。さあ、ビジネスに戻りましょう。何か遠征に必要なものは？
持ってるものを見せてほしいの。
いろいろあるわ。
earning a modest living. But by night, she's the master of disguise and mimicry known as the Phantom.
Did you hear, Felicia? Someone robbed millionaire Rex Ruthless, disguised as his favorite prostitute. Do you think it might be the
あら、
I wouldn't
金
know,
もも
Your
らって
Honor. I just
そ
a
の上
lowly
誰も撃たなくていい
stenographer.
なんて
By the
よくやっ
way,
た。
I've
ほら
bought you
よ
a gift for your
さ
birthday.
て
A gold
持ってる
watch.
刺激剤全部見
Why,
せてやろう
thank you. Although I think your
一
engraver
体
got
ど
it
んな
wrong.
種類の薬を売ってるの？
入手できるものは何でも
Of course.
人気なのはジェット
For righteous
必要な時に言葉尻を与える
germ.
例えば誰かに危害を加えたい時なんかになステムパックはもちろん貴重な商品だ誰でも怪我はするし時には治療も必要だそれと理由は明確だけどラッドアウェイはいつでも持ち歩くようにしてる何でもいいから選んで試してみろ製品を知る一番いい方法だ
The crown jewels.
必要ない。
Thank you, Richter.
すみません。
Tomorrow.
私は用心棒だから、とにかく怒らせないで。わかった？
That was almost too easy. You'd think the crown jewels would be better guarded.
Oh, but they are, my purple purloiner.
I should have known you'd show up. The dark rodent in the flesh. Or in the fur, I suppose. Although I guess I was right the first time. You're not actually a rodent. You just smell like one. And don't forget me, his ward, Falcon Boy! Oh, right, you. You know, falcons technically eat rodents, so I don't think that's a good name for you. It's 1,000 times better than La Fantoma. Those aren't even words. Actually, it's Spanish for the Phantom. Anyways, I'm you are clearly
皆様は処分されました。
dark rodent. It seems you left your good sense in your utility belt.
You say that, my villain.
Yes.
You're a vigilante, and you still have the authority.
またすぐに
And
もう一
if you
つステム
serve
パッ
as
クを
witness
作れ
to
る
my
はずです。
trial, I'll have your testimony thrown out on account of
That ought to do
非
it.
常に興味をそそ
seems
ら
to
れ
know
ま
a
す。
lot about the legal
録画を
system,
開始
Bruce.
します。
Do you think she has a job there?
Damn it, Falcon Boy. How many times do I have to tell you not to use my real name?
I'm sorry, Bruce. I mean, the dark rodent.
It's all right, just don't do it again. Now, where was I?
Actually, she escaped while you were yelling at me. And now the cops are on their way. Should we let the commissioner know what happened?
No, it's like she said. We're technically criminals, too. In fact, we'd better get out of here. To the Batvertible.
Hey everybody, did the news get around about a guy named Butcher Pete? Old Pete just flew into the
hospital. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Remember that time you tried to bake the perfect cake for your husband? And remember how the grocer didn't have the strawberries he liked, so you ended up topping it with cherries instead? And remember how you forgot he was allergic to cherries and he ended up hospitalized for over a week? Well, that was some disaster. But it wasn't your fault. It was the fault of your grocer. That's why we recommend you shop at Super Duper Mart. Our shelves are always stocked with the freshest fruits and vegetables, as well as all the ingredients you need to bake a cake or cook your next meal. That's because, as your grocer, we feel responsible for the health and well-being of your family, almost as if we were a part of it. Of course, the Super Duper Mart isn't just a grocer. From food to electronics, gardening supplies to home decor, Super Duper Mart has it all. And now, you can too. Super Duper Mart, for all your shopping needs. We're on the out from Bristol to Beantown.
In the deepest jungles, where only the most terrifying creatures dared live, there was one man who called himself King. Grognak the Barbarian. Watch him fly through the trees, wrestle exotic beasts, and tame savage beauties in this harrowing tropical adventure.
My pleasure.
You must help my baby. The shaman say he's hungry for milk, but I fed him already and he won't stop crying.
Do not worry. Grognak is skilled at quieting children.
Wait, what are you doing? Oh my God! You killed my baby!
Foolish woman, that was not your baby. It was a bad baby, and all it is hungry for is blood.
You're only an ally, barbarian. That wasn't deep fried, baby. I am the bad queen. Payment for your insolence. My children will feed on you until your blood runs dry.
Grognak does not feed the children.
He offers them.
Grognak stops that queen insane young tribe, or will her bat babies use the villages as their own private bottle? Find out in this Ugress Comics presentation of Grognak and the Jungle of the Bat Babies.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
There's no mistaking it. The smell of gray tortoise cigarettes is a natural aphrodisiac, the kind that drives women wild. But what if you are not a smoker? Or what if you're in a restaurant where cigarettes aren't allowed? Now she's bored, yawning, and making eyes at the waiter. There's only one way to keep her interested and keep you smelling like a man. Gray Tortoise Cologne. In every bottle, you'll find the same rich tobacco odors you'll find in every Gray Tortoise cigarette. Just one spray, and you'll have her on your lap, unable to control her nicotine cravings. In fact, she'll be hopelessly addicted to you. Gray Tortoise Cologne. That same great cigarette smell in a bottle.
And now, some music.
Well, I don't know, but I've been told uranium ore's worth more than gold. So my cad, I bought me a Jeep. I got that bug, and I can't sleep. Uranium fever has gone and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to take me some government land.
Uranium fever has gone and got me down. Well, I had a talk with the AEC and they brought out some maps that looked good to me. And one showed me a spot he said he knowed, so I straddled my Jeep and headed down the road. I reckon I drove about 100 miles down a bumpy road out through the wilds, when all of a sudden I bounced to a stop at the foot of a mountain, didn't have no top. Uranium fever has done and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to stake me some government land.
Uranium fever has done and got me down. Well, I took my Geiger and I started to climb right up to the top, where I thought I'd find a hunk of rock that'd make it click just like I'd read about Vernon Pick. On the second day I made the top, and I'm telling you, Steve, I was ready to stop. The only clicking that I heard that day was the bones in my back that had gone astray. Uranium fever has done and got me down. Uranium fever, it's spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to stake me some government land.
Uranium fever has done and got me down. Well, you pack up your things, you head out again into some unknown spot where nobody's been. You reach the spot where your fortune lies. You find it's been staked by 17 other guys. Well, I ain't kidding, I ain't gonna quit. That bug's done caught me and I've been bit. So with a Geiger counter and a pick in my hand, I'll keep right on staking that government land. Uranium fever has done and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to stake me some government land.
Uranium fever has done and got me down.
We're on the air from Bristol to Beantown. This is Atomic Radio.
Let me tell you the story of Marvin. He's a good, clean boy from a loving family. But Marvin has a weakness. He wants to fit in with the other boys at school. And unfortunately, some of them are very, very bad. When one of them offers him a marijuana cigarette, Marvin is so desperate to be included that he'll smoke 5, 10, or 20 times the average delinquent, even if it kills him. And this time, it just might. Several hours after his first joint, Marvin's drug-addled brain has hit on a clever idea for opening bottles. What if instead of using a bottle cap opener, he simply smashed the top off? Broken bottle in hand, Marvin continues to drink, at no point realizing that shards of glass have severed his tongue. While blissfully unaware of his impending death, Marvin has another idea. With bottle caps no longer being produced by soda companies, what if they could be used as a currency? He posits that a fixed, controlled supply of currency will safeguard against the perils of inflation and provide the foundation for a stable economy. The idea never gains traction, however, as Marvin can no longer communicate in words while choking on his own blood. Marvin's story is not a new one. It could happen to you, to your children, or a family friend. That's why it's important to talk to your kids about the dangers of illegal narcotics and steer them towards safer alternatives, such as alcohol and tobacco. Their health and well-being depends on it.
Lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down. Oh, drinking beer in a cabaret, was I having fun? Until one night she caught me right, now I'm on the run.
Oh, lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down. Oh, I see you every night, Bing, and I'll woo you every day. I'll be your regular mama, and I'll put that gun away.
Oh, lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay the thing down before it goes off and hurts somebody. Oh, she kicked out my windshield and she hit me over the head. She cussed and cried and
いいわ。
said out loud, wish that I was dead.
Oh, lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down. We're three tough gals from deep down Texas way. We got no
さあ行こう。
They don't like the way we play. We're a rough, rootin', tootin', shootin' trio, but you ought to see my sister Cleo. She's a terror, make no error, but there ain't no laissez-faire. Here's what we tell her.
Lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down.
Happy made a batch of corn, the revenuers came. It was slow, so now
Crazy old robot.
何か面白いものでも探しますか？
And when you say you stay, that's when you go. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? I've been sitting on the fence, and it doesn't make much sense, 'cause you keep me in suspense, and you know it. Then you promise to return. When you don't, I really well, I guess I'll never learn.
放射能は是が非でも避けるべきです。修復不可能なまでに損傷するかもしれません。
We're on the air. Start it. This is Atomic Radio.
All the rats are gone. That's great.
Doc's Diner, right next to the old drugstore. The people are the same too. There's Bill the barber, Martha the grocer, and Charlie the racist, allegedly. I guess they still haven't proven those costumes were his. And frankly, they probably never will. That's because nothing ever changes in Springfield.
Connie, it's good to have you back. Where have you been?
Costa Rica.
You're off to the scrap heap.
I don't know. I felt homesick.
And you just hopped a plane back here?
Yeah.
Well, you probably should have given your family some warning.
Why? I thought they might like it if I surprised them.
Really, that's not a good idea. You should call them first. Why don't we use the phone over here?
Now you're acting strange. Why should I call them first? What's going on?
I don't know how to tell you this, so I won't. Why don't you go home and talk to your sister? Connie? What are you doing here? Why didn't you call?
Does a man need a reason to come back home?
Well, no, not usually. But after the drugs and the mental institution, we thought...
What drugs? What institution? I've been in Costa Rica.
Oh, Connie, you're doctor said you might have delusions. Things to fill the gaps in time. I mean, could you even point out Costa Rica on a map?
It's right next to Arizona somewhere.
I'm afraid not.
ヘアピンの扱いに長けていますね。
Where's Dad? He'll tell you.
Honey, you don't remember?
これは問題が起こる前のことですよね。
We've been trying to cover it up ever since.
I murdered him? Oh my god. Is that what caused me to lose my mind?
Well, no. You were actually dealing with it quite well. But then you started making advances at Sam.
What's wrong with that? Sam's a good-looking man.
Sam's a girl, and your sister. And she's been dead for 7 years.
Oh no. Was it me? Did I kill her? Did that put me over the edge?
That, or the pills, or that weird cult you joined. Look, the point is, it's really awkward when you come home and I have to explain this to you every time. If you called, I could have made up some story, like Dad and Sammy went out fishing.
He went fishing, huh? And he didn't even invite me. I'm gonna kill him.
そのままにしておけ。
It's the same old story in Springfield. Everything's just how I remember.
Combat 攻撃態勢に入ります。
俺を怒らせるよ間違い。
大行為からまた生き延びました。
逃がしませんよ。センサー無反応。攻撃態勢解除。
私の
あれは痛そうだった。俺たちは全てを引き裂いているんだろ。
何か面白いものでも探しま。ターミナルがどこかにいる。
Now, a word from our sponsors. Donuts and coffee. The two of them go together like chocolate and roses. Cram and indigestion. Boredom and baseball. Like a cold breeze on a summer day, coffee and donuts are a match made in heaven. And if you want the best of both, there's only one place to get it. Slocum's Joe. Because some things in life go better together.
スキャナーに生物反応。警戒レベルを上げる。スキャナーに敵の反応はないよ。
All the rats are gone. Feels great.
敵が来たよ。
探せ！探せ！
There we go.
Like me, for instance, Joe Thompson, a promising, brilliant, handsome young writer whose genius has gone unrecognized for too long. And Marge, that beautiful dame who rebuffed the advances of said writer, probably because she's used to making poor life choices.
So, you're a writer, Joe. What have you published?
Well, I haven't published anything yet. But people have said I'm promising, brilliant, and handsome.
Oh, really? What people?
My mother, for one. Now leave me be. I've got a novel to write. Seriously, what a bitch. But this story isn't about that. Oh, it was originally. But it all changed when I got writer's block and decided to ask my agent for help. That agent referred me to the one and only Lana Worth. Actress, writer, iconoclast. It was Lana who helped turn this romance novel into a crime story for the ages.
I really love this story, you know. It's so honest. The only part I don't understand is the ending.
What's wrong with the ending?
Well, it's clear Marge and the protagonist have no chemistry at all. So it's a bit odd that she chooses him over the other suitor.
Liar. Marge loves me, goddammit, and I'll kill you for saying otherwise. Did I just give away the ending to the movie? Maybe. I said I was a promising writer, not a good one. But you'll have to see it to find out. Coming to a theater near you, The Boulevard, an OEI motion picture production.
And now a message from our sponsors.
This is a man who smokes gray tortoise cigarettes. What kind of a man is he?
I'm the type of man who likes to work on my car. I like to take it apart and put it back together. I get to working on it and forget where I am, what time it is. Sometimes I even forget to eat.
You don't forget to smoke, though, do you?
I never forget to smoke. I might forget other things, like picking up my son from soccer practice or turning off the stove. But I never forget to smoke.
That's because you're a man's man, a gray tortoise man. You don't let parental responsibilities or a combustible gas leak get between you and a job well done. Why don't you have a smoke right now? You've more than a gray tortoise.
見事なまでに気が散ります。同じように感じますか？
センサー警報、敵発見。攻撃態勢に入ります。全員排除します。敵を分析中。殺せる可能性を計算中。再接近して交戦します。接近サンドエンジンを起動します。強化探知がされていない。 戦区域に敵はいません。敵が来たよ。
Perfect. All the rats are gone. Feels great.
Terminal のみね。Terminal を見つけないと。
Don't touch that dial. You found the best radio station in Boston, Atomic Radio.
For most adolescents, social life is a dominant interest. In fact, every school has several groups or cliques that they belong to. This boy's name is Rob.
Well, I'm getting tired working hard every day.
敵と交戦します。
Pleasure was all mine.
When the needle starts clicking, it's well gonna deal. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, bail it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away. Well, I can see me now in my long Cadillac.
これは問題が起こる前のことですよね。
いつからアンティークの収集を？
Don't you know I'd be hard to stop? Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, bail it up like hay. Have a rocking good time, throw it all away. Yes, that's me in my long Cadillac. Heading down the road and I ain't coming back. Ain't no red light gonna make me stop. When I find that big rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, bail it up like hay. Have a rocking good time to throw it all away.
その無用のガラクタを運ばせないでくれ。
これはゴミ箱に入れるべきですよね。
境界線での動きを検知。作戦区域にステルス部隊が侵入した可能性があります。
痛めつけてる。
つけなければ。
Crazy old robot. All the rats are gone. Feels great.
体は組織の損傷を修復できますが、急に大量の放射能を浴びるのは命取りになります。注意が必要です。ターミナルがここを開ける。
All the rats are gone. Feels great.
まあ、彼らにはもうそれは必要なくなるだろう。
何か面白いものでも探しましたか？ 放射能は是が非でも避けるべきです。修復不可能な
危ないぞ。
All the rats are gone. Feels great.
すみません。
受け取ってくれ。必要になるから。
それだけ。
了解。
しいほどの量の水が必要です。ここを満たすには恐ろしいほどの量の水が必要です。ここを満たすには恐ろしいほどの量の水が必要です。
キャップを稼ぎたい？やることなくてボケーっとしてるなら手伝ってもらいたいのがある。
何を手伝ってほしいって？
古いウォーターポンプを直そうとしている。スクラップがたくさんあるはず。排水できればな。
いえ、ここで一体何をしようとしているの？
洞窟探索が好きなダチがいるかも。お前みたいな賢いやつを落とす穴が必要かもな。手を貸すのかどうなんだ？
何をすればいい？
ポンプの調子があまり良くないが電源は入るはずだ。連結部で漏れが発生してるのは間違いない。おかげで仕事に追われてる。直せるか？漏れ口は水中にある。気泡を探せば見つかるはずだ。
恐ろしいほどの量の水が必要です。ほどの量の水が必要です。
ねえ、
それだ。任せたぞ。ポンプ端のスイッチを入れるんだ。くそ、いいから放っておけ。待て、今の聞いたか？誰かいるのか？やろう。
マイアラートは数時間にはありますか？
大丈夫。ここのポンプの流れを変えた。
すみません。
マイアラークが起こしちまったのは通りだな。いずれにせよ他を修理しなくちゃならない。今となっちゃそんなに大変じゃないだろう。協力してくれて助かる。出発の前にこれを持って行ってくれ。
人類はお互い殺し合っていないときは共嘆すべきものを建設できます。気をつけて。いいわね。
役に立つものを見つけたか。また時間を浪費しているだけか。
またターミナルを使用しているのですね。畑は持っていませんよ。
無用のガラクタを運ばせないでくれ。
これは価値はないのですか。ビンゴね。わかりにくいですね。ヘアピンの扱いに長けていますね。
された技だ。そのうち教えてもらわないと。やるぞ。
Nice. Bingo.
上がってこい。
Perfect. Nice.
俺を怒らせるよ。間違えた。
その行動は
隠れているのか。
That ought to do it.
とても汚いです。ここの所有者。いいわね。
弾を使う価値すらなかった。
私たちだけではないかもしれない。
面白くなりそうなところだった。
ローチが攻撃しています。
このやり方だ。
アレルギー持ちでないことを願います。ここはとても不潔です。アレルギー持ちでないことを願います。ここはとても不潔です。
素晴らしい。
ても汚いです。ここの所有者は恥を知るべきです。防衛できそうです。ビンゴね。このコミック本に使われている色が好きです。とても明るいです。
彼らにはもうそれは必要なくなるだろう。
何か面白いものでも探しましたか？